Hey, what's up, guys? Tugi here, back again with another episode of Project Tranmere, and yet again, it's another very, very big day. In this episode, we finish up our first season in the championship, the dream, the hope of moving up to the Premier League on our first attempt is very much still alive, whether that means going through the playoffs or finishing in second and getting that other automatic promotion spot now that Stoke is running away with the league. We have a very good opportunity. 16 games left this season, and we're going to go through all of them. Before we get into this, though, I want to get to a couple of your comments. Kessie Miranda, if I'm saying that right, I should be. One thing I don't understand is the lack of relegation and promotion in the U.S. For certain sports, mainly for football and with the MLS, it would make sense. And the NFL doesn't really make sense with how big college football is. With basketball, again, doesn't really make sense with how big college sports are. For the NHL, it could kind of make sense, but not really when you factor in, you look at, say, the United Center in Chicago housing 20K compared to some AHL second tier, basically the championship of, the NHL. You look at that second tier and there are some arenas that house less than 10K, so it wouldn't necessarily work directly. Baseball-wise, it also wouldn't necessarily work. So really, I just feel like relegation and promotion are, it's perfect for football, for soccer, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if I call it soccer, he's an American that insists on calling it football. It is what it is. It's just that way you know what the hell I'm talking about. Although, granted, if I just say soccer, you know what the hell I'm talking about. You get the point. It just fits so well. Will we ever see promotion and relegation within the United States? I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions. That's been a debate for a very long time. But for the other sports, at least, it just doesn't make sense, I'd say, for the most part, due to the success of college sports. Why don't you look at the value of players before signing them? I do. If a player has a bigger value, then it means the overall is relatively high. I know. But still, I check. I do. I check. That's not to say that I'm not still going to sign some players. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. We're almost in the Premier League already. Trust the process. You should change the view when in Youth Academy. I probably will, although I do kind of like the way it's set up now. Paulie, you might want to experiment with the club. I don't know if you can hear that truck outside. You probably couldn't have. You might be able to now. Jesus, is the thing on fire? Is it exploding? My God. I'm going to continue through because why the hell not? You might want to experiment with the club and country style series. Paulie, I probably will. That's probably, if we do another FIFA series after this, that's probably the next logical thing to do. Like I mentioned on Twitch for a short time, I've been continuing it a little bit on and off. We did the United States takeover of Leeds United with that club going into administration. So it just, it's probably the next logical step to not only find league success with the team, but also international success, as you mentioned. Captain Caspian, you already scouted Bolivia. You're right, I did. I went back and checked, and I think I either misspelled it using the search feature or misspelled it in the Word document. Regardless, yeah, we have accidentally scouted Bolivia twice over. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. That was a weird bug. You definitely shouldn't have had to play 2 games on the same day. Yeah, I still don't know what happened with that, but that's just the way the schedule works in FIFA. At the start of the season, I thought you'd finish 6th to 7th if you got knocked out of the cups early, so it's going better than expected. I agree with that as well. Would it be a jersey foul to get a Rovers jersey with Meyer on it? No. I mean, yes, but no. That would be absolutely ridiculous. With that, jump cut until that fucker drives away. If I told you it took a solid 5 minutes for him to finally drive off, him or her for that matter, I don't even know what neighbor that was, but regardless, if I told you it took a good 5 minutes for them to drive away, would you believe me? I hope you would. Regardless, I don't really have too much else to say. I think I'm going to try to stay live for the majority of this episode. We'll see how that actually goes. It's just a matter now of waiting to see how the team performs and whether or not we can live up to expectations. As go figure, we scout in Bolivia twice and they offer me international management, which we will reject. We also have an offer from Peru, which I'll reject. If in this series we do take an international managerial role. It'll be for a big club, but I think I might just leave that for a different series entirely. Much like Paulie mentioned, I'm not against the idea of trying to build up, say we do like a New Zealand team, and, we only sign players in the league that are from New Zealand, and we also take the job as the national team manager and see what we can do on both levels. I'm perfectly fine with another type of challenge series like that. For now, though, Tranmere Rovers, Project Tranmere, cannot end until we find some Premier League success and maybe even some international, European success at the very least. So let's take a look here at the schedule coming up. We play Sheffield Wednesday this Saturday, today, and then next weekend it's an FA Cup match against Swansea. No midweek matchup scheduled until the end of the month when we play Norwich. So we should be good to go here. The one downside, of course, right now is the injury to Kelly. Aside from that, we are good to go, though. I do believe the team is set up exactly as I would have preferred. With Cox, Johannesson, Galliano, Richardson, Kovac just really doesn't have a spot right now because of Villalaba. Kovac would actually be... Actually, no, wait, Kovac is supposed to be on the bench as opposed to Villalaba. That was the one change. There was the injury there. Trying to balance this out well. The second team's not going to get a ton of playing time, so the bench will be changed up once we move forward. But for now, just to double check again, I think we're good to go. So in terms of who moves to the starting cam spot, it's going to be Berezovsky replacing Kelly, which doesn't hurt all that much. That means Arne might get a little bit more playing time. I'm going to move Kelly all the way down here. He's only out for, I think, 2 weeks, but we should be good to go. I often don't run my team off of full fitness, so normally I'd play the second team here, but every point matters at this point in the season. So it's a home game against Sheffield Wednesday. They are in pretty good form. They got crushed by Wigan in their last game, though. Let's sim this. Wilson makes it 1-0. 3-2-1. 5-0. Wilson. 2 goals for Morgan, a goal for Meyer, and Sip. That is one hell of a way to start off this episode. So we get another loan offer for Benzai that I doubt will go through. It will eventually. Again, the whole changing at the transfer thing works, but it's still not 100%. It's not a 100% certainty, so it kind of sucks for that reason. Let's take a look here. Now, this is the one thing that could slow us down ever so slightly. But we do have that big match coming up against Swansea, so I could either make a shitload of jump cuts, or we could just stay live for the moment. I think we'll just stay live. It might end up being a longer episode because of it. Let's see if we can get Villalaba up to a higher rating, and is there anybody else who is close to going up? Roberts, are you close? Vision, and we'll go with those 5. So we have 2 Villalabas on the team, one of them up to a 61, the other one up to a 65. Not too shabby. And hopefully Roberts and Sanchez can improve sometime soon. So while we didn't get to, get some other guys playing time this week, worth it to get a big win as the Benzai move falls apart. No real surprise. The same thing's going to happen again and again and again and again and again. But that's all right. As I am nervous for this game against Swansea. Very, very nervous, but let's see what we can do. I mean, the roster, can I please delete that? Thank you very much. And you wondered why that one time I didn't clear out the inbox, because it's a pain in the ass. The team's good to go. The same team that just crushed Sheffield Wednesday will be playing here against Swansea, round 5 of the FA Cup. Let's see what we can do. They're not in very good form, but we're on the road, and that's going to make it a much more difficult game for us. Let's see what we can do. Oh boy, Anderson scores in the 22nd, and we have the lead early on. Tremendous. Can we hold it up to halftime? We cannot. McGregor gets on the board for Swansea. 60th minute, still tied. They pick up a red card. That needs to be our opening. Come on. Come on. They have a freaking defender, center back. Go down. Are we going to pens? We're not. That is a horrifically wasted opportunity. To have Swansea go down to 10 men and we couldn't find a goal is brutal. And to be honest, wasn't that a replay in and of itself? It wasn't. The replay was against Hull. There's going to have to be a replay scheduled, and that could be a big problem for us, depending on what the schedule continues to look like. We're going to try to get Roberts up to that next overall level. Who else is close in terms of being on the main team? Adalberto Luna. Not looking that good. He will eventually level up on his own. Horatio Sanchez. Let's see if there's any way we can get you to be a little bit better. There is. To be honest, I think we might cut it up till the first progress report, perhaps. I want to stay alive for the majority of this episode, just because of how big this is and how every game matters. But it's the moments like this, the tedious stuff, that I normally cut out of the episode. But, you know, it is what it is, I do suppose. But we have Robert, Sanchez, and Morgan. Let's go check among the defenders. Josh Wilson, I doubt. Yeah, he's not going to be close to leveling up in any way. What about Patrick Cox? Looked like the defense at least. And let's look for a center back if there is one close. There is not. Archie Bailey, though. We know he's been a long time Youth Academy member. We'll look to level him up a little bit. So every single person ends up getting the upgrade. That is a successful week, if I do say so myself. I mean, Morgan was coming off a big game with 2 goals against Sheffield Wednesday. We are still deadlocked with Leeds. Both of us have games at hand on the teams immediately below us in the league table. This is going to be a damn close race. And we do have that midweek matchup. Oh my God, no. FIFA, no. Oh God, are you kidding me? So we're going first team against MK Dons, second team against Norwich, first team against Swansea, second team against Villa. Oh, that sucks. God, that sucks. So again, the first team will play this game. That is brutal. Kelly is at least back, which is quite helpful. But just what an absolutely brutal schedule. So technically here, Sip is still fine, and we'll switch out Kelly with Berezovsky. And we should be good. That is our true first team right there. We should be good to go. And again, the second team will be playing Norwich coming up midweek, and we're going to have to play our first team not on 100% fitness. So the bench is really going to be called upon here. So a big match against the Dons. Let's see what we can do. They are in pretty bad form, and I'd like to think this is going to be another victory. But to say that scheduling with Swansea hurts our chances, it does. We do pick up the 2-1 win. Akindelia with the goal for MK Dons in the 87th minute. It was not enough. Morgan and Meyer, the goal scorers again. So some crucial points. Crucial 3 points there for us. Leeds won yet again, though. We cannot get any separation between us and Leeds. And then there's Stoke, who's just, again, miles ahead of everybody else in the league table. Let's see here. Is there anybody who's close? Luna, again, will be focused upon. And yeah, he's not close to really going up in any way. What about Sip, who will probably get some playing time against Swansea as a sub? Not quite there. Arne, who I tried to loan back out and it didn't happen, so he's just kind of stuck on the team right now, which sucks, but them's the breaks. Toby Kelly, 99 ball control. Again, I'm gonna be intrigued at whether or not I take the option of starting to play some more games. Maybe I don't play league matches, but maybe cup matches? Maybe just FA Cup matches? I definitely have the itch to play with this team. Granted, the most recent patch, which if you follow FIFA, you'll know it's quite controversial and has maybe taken the game in a negative direction. So maybe my optimism or excitement towards playing with this team would be immediately crushed, as I did not mean to do that. Cool. Well, I guess I'm gonna play this for now. Neat. Didn't really want to, and there's no real way for me to get out of it. So that's cool. Okay, you don't have a left foot. That's what I learned. you don't have a left foot. I didn't even see what the hell the challenge was. So whoever this is Arne. He's about to have a very bad time in terms of the challenge progress. I should have read what it was, but I'm like, I don't even want to do it, so who cares? Oh, Toby, where are you going? I don't even know what the challenge is. Just boot it. Who gives a damn? This sucks and I hate it. Just get rid of the ball. Or not nearly complete the pass. Long shot. All right, well, that didn't work either. Long shot. That didn't work either. Long shot. That didn't work, surprisingly. I don't care whose grade I'm ruining here. Long shot. And long shot. There we go. Don't know what the challenge was. Don't care. Mr. Thomas Arne. Yeah, sorry for the bad week of training. But you tried. I didn't, but I'm sure you did, at the very least. And in fairness, nobody else was able to level up anyway, so that was a bit of a waste. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's get to this game, although we do have the scouting update, but boy, I almost don't care as much. Ugh. God, the schedule was so bad. Again, we'll try to loan out Benzai. We get an extra 400k for the FA Cup rematch. So we start off in Bolivia. Valero Navarrete will not be signed. Luna Navarrete. Esteban Paz. Or Paz, I imagine. He'll be signed. The others will avoid for now. We go to Walsh, who's in Ecuador. There is Gregorio Bustos. Jesus. Placido Romero. And Eusebio Arne. My God, look at Ecuador. And that means that we go to Carter in Venezuela, who we have Fabio Granero. Not bad. We'll leave the others for now. Probably never sign them, but we'll leave the others for now. The main thing here is worrying about this game. So the second team will be in. Just let me double check this, although I'm quite sure we're good to go. The only concern is Bailey, who should be in, but that way Arne, Yaman, and Benzai, I think that way everyone at least has a chance outside of Kovac. But he is in now, and then there's Villalaba. So yeah, Kovac was supposed to be loaned out. That is the issue with him right now. So he is just kind of stuck on this team. He's on the bench normally. I think I'll just have Villalaba be on the bench. And we'll see what happens here against Norwich. It's a fairly big game for us. They have 3 draws in their last 3 games, but it's a road game, so at the very least, all I can hope for is a draw. Tim Krul in goal. It could be tough. They get the goal in the 11th minute. I'm going to skip the rest of it, and it's a 2-0 loss. So, unfortunately, the scheduling really didn't help us there. Will Leeds get separation from us? We're not going to find out. Ah, boy, and Richardson got a red card in that game, too. At the very least, the first team is good to go, fitness-wise. We have that going for us. It's the rematch against Swansea. Let's see what we can do. I don't really care for the emails. This is it. Biggest game for us right now. They are in pretty bad form. Can we get the win in the rematch to move on to the 6th round? That is the question. Fulham's up on Liverpool, right, with a yellow card. Nothing else happening at the moment. They really do need to add more info to this. Meyer scores in the 38th. We have the lead at the half. Sips on for Eklund. Interesting substitute, but that's all right. Come on now. Right. Makes it 2. 10 minutes left. And Tranmere Rovers are moving on in the FA Cup. Meyer and Wright 2-0 your final. There we go. There we go. So a very disappointing loss to Norwich. But I wanted to prioritize the tournament. And I'd say rightfully so. Again, we are moving on to the next round. Excited to see what we can do. And now the second team will be in again. This time to play Villa. Which is concerning. As, yeah, this team is exhausted right now. Which is not shocking by any stretch of the imagination. So in terms of what we're looking like here, that's a tough call. Sanchez can go in on the left. Let's play Benzai on the right rather than Luna. Maybe still have Luna on the bench. Cordoba still in. Probably get Bailey in on the bench for now. Just what an absolute mess. Galliano's exhausted, so we'll get Villalba out there, and we'll get Kovac in. So, pretty brutalized second team, but we'll see what they can do against Villa. Again, a draw here would be ideal. I do not see that happening by any stretch of the imagination. Fairly certain this is going to be a loss. But we'll see what happens. 3-2, they scored in the 4th minute. 3-2-1, 2-1 loss. The second team not able to get us points here at a crucial time. That drops us to 4th in the league. We are only 4 points back of Leeds, but still dropping points at a crucial time. We are currently now in the playoff format and only 2 points ahead of Norwich. Again, it's still a super close race with only 12 games left to go in the season. So that is rough. What I am going to do... What am I going to do? Jeez. Oh, God, we drew Arsenal next. Okay, well, it's been a good run. And then we play Brentford. Oh, criminy. Oh, boy. This is a rough time. First things first, let's look at the Youth Academy and see who we potentially want to drop. Chiesta only being a 56. I think Telmo's going to be on the way out. We're going to optimize guys who have a slightly higher ceiling. So, Telmo's on the way out. McCutcheon and Donaghy are ridiculous. Archie Bailey can still stay. Freaking Roy Ross is great. Villaba's great. Paz is going to be dropped. There's just too many others that are stronger than him at the same position. Bustos being a 52 at 17. We're going to drop him as well. Ray Song Huang is also pretty good. We'll keep him for now. Arne is a 45 at 17. He's on the way out. Romero's great. Granero could be okay, and Diaby's also okay. So that way I don't waste any time in training someone up accidentally over the final few weeks of the season here. In terms of training, everyone who trained last week will stay in. Dragicevic and Arne end up going up a point. Fortunately, Kelly, a little bit harder to train at this point with him being a cam. The defensive setup, I mean, obviously the defensive grades for him aren't as important, but we're still trying to prioritize that, make him a bit more well-rounded. As let's see, we've been offered the managerial role at Swansea. That will not happen. We have a training injury, though, and Benzai's out for 2 months, so not the worst-case scenario. Horatio Sanchez is pissed off about playing time, but that is what it is. Whew, thank God that was only Benzai. And I'm sorry, Benzai, but, you know, as we also get a loan offer for Yaman, which hopefully he'll end up going out on loan heading into next season as we continue to sort out the roster. But, yeah, Benzai, I was so worried it was going to be Clark or Meyer, to be honest. So, as far as the team is concerned, I think at this point I can't necessarily worry about proper balance. We need to make sure that the best players are in at basically all times. So, Sanchez, I mean, hell, you weren't happy? Well, you can get dropped for, let's go for Berezovsky. Technically, he's higher up on the depth chart than Sip is. So we'll do that. Bailey is fine where he is. Of course, we have so many strong wingers in the club. Bailey's actually going to be dropped for Cordoba. And we should be good there. Defensively, Johannesson is technically a center back. And Galliano, we've been playing as a left back, so he'll technically be out wide as well. Richardson's also a center back, so I think we're good in that way. I can't worry at this point about players being happy or not. We need results at crucial times. So the first team is set. The bench gets boosted up, especially with the likes of Elliot Roberts being there. I had only made that change to the midway point of the season, so it's not surprising that someone like Sanchez was complaining about playing time. But again, we're trying out different things in terms of balancing. I'm not too concerned. I'm only really concerned about the first team players. Let's sim the rest of this game against Hull. We score in the 10th minute. Eklund picks up an injury as well. And they score in the 58th. We drop points yet again. And it's looking more and more likely like we'll end up in the playoff structure, which is rough. Eklund is out for a month, which is a fairly major loss. We'll have to rely on Luna on the outside there, on the right-hand side. Let's see. People pretty much progressed, which isn't surprising. Let's focus on Kelly here. He's close to going up. The agility. That's a big deal to have dropped points there. I'm not going to look at the league table until we're ready for our next game. I mean, obviously we play Arsenal here in the FA Cup, but dropping points at this time of year is a dangerous game. And then there's the question of, if we end up in the playoffs, am I allowed to play that? Do we sim it? Do we just let it run? Do we watch it and then let the highlights, kind of watch back the highlights? Like, how do we handle that? It's been a discussion that we've had on and off throughout the first couple of seasons here. With the majority of my series, though, we like to make progress, which is why I haven't played every single game here. We would still probably be in League 2 and trying to work on that. So it's nice to already be fighting for Premier League promotion, but oh boy, it's going to be real interesting if we end up in the playoffs. Eklund being out really hurts, and now we get to play Arsenal and then Brentford after that, and that makes it so much worse. As that is, I think is that Isaiah Brown? Honestly, I can't remember whose name that is. Nope, didn't want to go to the catalog. Could have sworn you used to be able to look at the player who it was, but still. That's a great sign that a Leeds player is doing as well. To be named player of the month. So we're good with Eklund down to injury. I am just going to sort this really quickly. Tedious as it may be, it's quite helpful. So there we go. The team is set. We're throwing out the best squad we possibly can against Arsenal. It is going to be a loss, but you never know. A draw would be great. At least force a replay. Make them earn it. It's a home game, and they're coming off of Champions League play against PSG. Great. Let's see what happens here. They got Ospina in goal. They're not running their strongest squad at all. They brought in Balde Keita. Kelly gets the goal. We're up in the 27th minute. Steven Bergwijn. Balde scores. They got Elneny in there. Luna misses a penalty. Again, it's not their strongest roster. We have a chance here to at least walk away with a draw, but a win would be massive. That missed Luna penalty hurts so badly, and it's going into extra time straight up. No replays. Oh, God. It ends in the 120th. For those who don't know, Morgan scores in the 116th. Oh, my God. We just beat Arsenal. Oh, my God. The big injury to Sabali in the 90th. Morgan scores the winner in the 116th minutes. That is the biggest win in our tenure. We are moving on through the FA Cup tournament. Oh my God, how did we just... Again, they weren't running... That's how differently they view it. They're like, oh, well, we just got done playing PSG. Our second team can play against the Rovers in the FA Cup. They're not prioritizing this tournament like we very much are. And, it worked out for us. We got the win because of it. Even then, with their second team, they should have probably won that game. And they didn't. They still had Ospina in goal, who is much better, for the most part, than any keeper we normally face outside of like a Jack Butland and Stoke, who surprisingly hasn't moved. Just a crazy win for us. And hopefully that can build some momentum that we need heading into the back half of the season here. I mean, not even the back half. We're in the back half, the final few games. We have 11 games left. And as you can see, the schedule is getting to be a little bit hectic. Just a tad bit. So the second team will be in against Brentford. Benzai will not be playing for obvious reasons. So just to take a look here at who has been playing. Again, Eklund will be out. That's fine. So we got to look at getting like Cox, Sip. Pretty much those four are the ones that I'm worried about. Everyone there is fine. Let's actually get Patrick Cox in for Villalaba. Actually, I believe Cox has been, he's more of a right back. So it'll be Kovac on the bench. Have Weber there. Kelly will sit for Montadon. And everyone else is pretty much good. We need to get Roberts in for Sanchez. I gotta be honest, I don't like the idea of playing Sanchez on the right and out of position, but it's gotta be done. And then Arnay, unfortunately, will not be playing. He's gonna ride the bench there, so we have some decent sub options. That is the second team moving forward. They have not been in the best form in this episode, but now is the time for them to prove their worth. We're going up against Brentford. They are in terrible form, but yet again, we're on the road, and it's tough to get results through the sim engine on the road. Let's do this. 3-2-1. It's a draw, so we at least pick up 1 point. Not ideal, but it's better than a loss, just to get some positive points there. In case in point, we have slipped up. We have slipped up. We are barely in the playoff structure. Now, we do have 2 games at hand. Right now, if we play 38 games, we can have the maximum of 66 points. But still, there is a chance that we slip up a bit too much. There's no guarantees that we make the playoffs, let alone get automatic promotion. Nottingham Forest are there right now. Leeds have the edge on them. Middlesbrough also still not yet up to 38 games. This is going to be tough. This is going to be close. And I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little bit scared. I'm talking about, if we make the playoffs, that's if. That's still an if. That's not a guarantee. Jay Morgan wants to play, and of course he will. The first team will be back out there. We start off in Bolivia here. We have Eusebio Correa. We have Simon Bustos. We have Eliseo Gerardo, my God, and Ivan Roldan, another goalkeeper, but my God. Bolivia paying out there. We go to Ecuador, and we have Telmo Duarte, another goalkeeper, but still, we'll sign him up for now. And then we go to Venezuela. Cordoba, Morales, we have Fabio Vera. My God, we're going to have to cut people from the Youth Academy soon. Octavio Romero, South America, working out pretty well for us. Soria will be avoided for now. So again, we'll clean up the Youth Academy relatively soon. Let's get that first team in against Derby, and we'll see what we can do. And I mean, this is huge. They're in 7th. We have 2 games at hand. This is a big game to get separation on them just to maintain a playoff spot. We need a win here so badly. I mean, they have former Liverpool right back Andre Wisdom out there who took a yellow card. Myers scored a minute later, probably directly as a result of that. My God, 2 goals in the 39th. We made it 2-0 with Morgan. Bennett gets it right back, up 2-1. We're in a good spot here. Meyer makes it 3. That should be enough. Huge goal from Moritz Meyer, who I'm pretty sure I already called Timo in this episode. And there we go, 3-1 to solidify a playoff spot, at least for the moment. That moves us into 5th, out of immediate danger, but not really. It's still a big problem, that being our positioning in the league table right now. Let's see if Timo Aaltonen is any closer to... Ooh, he is. Let's go. My God, 90 stand tackle and slide tackle already. Actually, 91 already. Absolute monster. Again, this is why... That's the one thing that I'm missing, is getting to, see... I mean, we do get to see these guys develop, but, in theory, on the field, going from being, pretty shit to really damn good. That's the one thing that we're missing with this series. But like I said, I mean, that's why I want to get into playing games a little bit more consistently so we can see that. I mean, hell, we, with what we did to win the league title in League 1 and 2 already, you could kind of see the development just between those 2 games alone in terms of some of the moves. I mean, my God, the goalkeeping talent there is absurd. Let's see if we can get Johannesson to go up, and we have a decent shot at that. Nobody levels up, but that's okay. That is okay. I am more nervous than I should be here for these for these final 11 games. Venezuela, I would love to, but it's not going to happen. And Jay Morgan, you're welcome for playing you. Damn. 11 games. It's not 48. I was thinking of 38, like the Premier League. It's 46. We have 9 games left. What is with these? Oh my God, are you seeing the scheduling? Rory Ross wants to be signed. Eklund's good to play. He will not until he's 100%. We know Rory Ross is good enough to be signed, so we probably will. He's a 63, unreal potential. So let's go ahead and sign him up and try to get him set up to immediately go out on loan. We need to see if he's a better attacker or defender, as it is. So, Rory Ross, what's the deal with you, buddy? 3-star, high-low. Definitely a better cam. Definitely a better attacking midfielder than not. So, right now, let's add him to the... the Word document of dreams where we keep track of everybody. We'll try to loan out Roy Ross. He will not play this season, but it's good to have him on the team. So as far as the schedule is concerned, Wigan, Stoke, Forest, kill me. We have to play the second team against Wigan because Stoke's the best team in the league, and we need to hope our first team can get a draw. So the second team is going to be called upon here to play the next 2 out of 3. Whether or not they are good enough to get the job done, I do not know. Ideally, actually, Clark would be in over Sip. He's a little bit more promising despite Sip having a higher overall rating. God, so and then Luna would ideally be in for Sanchez, and then have Sanchez on the bench in favor of Yalman. And from there, I think we're okay. Kind of. Ish. Oh, boy. Let's drop Kovac. We're going to play Galliano on the left-hand side. All those guys are first team. All those guys are first team. And then there's Ross, who we're not going to worry about. So, there we go. Second team is set for this game. Again, they got to play the next 2 out of 3. March 28th against Wigan on the road. We haven't been able to give easy matchups to the second team. At least get a point. That's all I'm hoping for. 2-2 draw. Luna and Cox. So 2 goals from defenders. But it's good enough to at least get a point. Again, every point counts. But this is what I was talking about in terms of trying to build up that second team the way we did. Because it would be nice, as Ewan McCutcheon wants out. He's a goalkeeper. Kelly and Medved, God forbid you guys sit 1 game and you're like, my role, my playing time. You've played the vast majority of games. It's so frustrating. Let's play or sim through this. Medved and Berezovsky each go up. That's what I hate. They need to adjust it. Like, if their schedule making within career mode is going to be as garbage as it is, you can't have players complain when they have to sit out more because of it so that their legs don't fall off. We're going to take a look at Ewan McCutcheon. I mean, he's right there. We know he's a solid goalkeeping prospect. We're going to add him as well. That is going to cause issues because we already had the likes of Graniero and Budawani signed and loaned out. We'll see how he compares, and we'll also try to set him up to go out on loan. 18 years old and a 66. So technically, he would be behind Budawani and Graniero, but still worth signing for the moment. Might not be around long term. Time will tell for the Scotsman. So, Stoke. Barry Donaghy also wants out. Kill me right now. Kill me with fire, or with whatever you please, because that is not good for us. We do have the room to sign him. Barry Donaghy is going to be higher up on the list than McCutcheon at 18 years old, ridiculous potential, and a 70 overall. In fairness, he is pretty much right in line with Budawani. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting because right now we have Clark, Dragicevic, Graniero, Budawani, Donaghy, and McCutcheon all signed. And right now the top 3 are definitely Clark, Dragicevic, and Graniero, although we'll see how certain players develop. But there we go, Barrett Donaghy is in for now. In terms of deciding what the goalkeeping future is, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, we have a gigantic match against Stoke. Absolutely gigantic. Needless to say, the bench has to be basically completely turned over. We'll get whoever the hell actually has some stamina on the bench. It'll be those main three. And then defensively, let's go with Weber and Kovac. That's fine. That is fine. Oh boy. First team, at least get a point. That's what we need more than anything against the league leaders in Stoke. It's a very tough ask, but at the very least, it's at home. We might have a chance. 1-1 draw. Timo, there it is. I'm calling him Timo from now on. Moritz, Timo is his nickname, Meyer. Goal in the 62nd minute. We do at least get the draw against the league leaders, the champions-elect. I'll take it. That was a necessary evil to at least make sure we racked up a point. As we'll clear out all of this. None of it's all that important. Yes, Sanchez, I know you want out. Whatever. If you end up being sold, it's fine. We have depth, and we'll just get money for it. Second team, we're going to field whoever the hell we can, which at this point, I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who that is. So let's take a look if we can get some sort of organization here. Let's get a look at what this team could be or should be, really. So Dragicevic is good. We're going to play Weber. Those two are still fine. And we can play Kovac out on the right instead of Patrick Cox. So Villalba's there. And we'll also send out... Leary's a bit too tired. Let's send out Medved, just in case. And then in the midfield, I mean, striker-wise, it's fine. We roll with Kelly and put Meyer on the bench, just in case. Monadon has a little bit more to give. Let's see. Eklund is technically our right mid, but he's going to be on the left-hand side. Yalman's there. We'll play Ross and Sip, and that's going to have to do. I'm not sure what we can expect here, if anything, with this second team against Forest. They are very much in the playoff hunt, much like we are. They are in tremendous form right now. A draw here as well is all we can really ask for. Let's sim the rest. 3-2-1, and we lose 2-0. Montandon picks up an injury as well. And Ben Brereton missed a pen, one of my favorite players to use in career mode. That's a bad loss. We just fell from 4th back down to 6th. I had a feeling. That's a rough loss. A very... very unfortunate time. There's never really a good time to drop points, especially this late in the season, but that was by far the worst. And really, if anything, I don't think I'm making excuses when I say I think a lot of our misfortunes right now are coming down to FIFA's poor scheduling system. I mean, really, that's a big factor in terms of how bad we're doing right now. These rescheduled matches midweek, 3 games in 4 days, games in back-to-back days. It's like, what the hell do you want us to do aside from lose? And if that's the correct answer, we can do that, no problem. Or at the very least, pick up a draw. So I'll train up Kovac here. And is there anybody else? Let's go for Harrison Wright. Is there anything that you're close to leveling up, Harrison? Apparently not. And was there anybody else in the midfield? Let's go for Morgan. Unlikely. No? Okay, there we go. That works. We'll go for the vision boost. And we'll see what happens. Kovac up to a 68. Eklund up to a 74. Not too shabby. Pressure is on to make the damn playoffs here. Right, what is the schedule ahead? We get another loan offer for Yalman. And again, Montandon injured. He's out for 2 days. So... nothing too crazy. Harrison, you sat 1 game. You play all the time. God, FIFA, fix that, please. FIFA, EA, whoever I can blame. As we get a loan offer for McCutcheon from Racing Club, I believe, in Argentina. So, that'll be interesting. Send the Scotsman to Argentina. Let's do it. We play Sunderland next, who are battling relegation. Yalman's finally been loaned out, which is nice. And McCutcheon has an offer as well from Fenerbahce in Turkey. So hopefully McCutcheon's in demand, which is a pretty good sign. But we'll see where Sunderland are here. We have 6 games left this year. Moritz wants to play, which isn't surprising. Of course he will. I'm not making a comment. Screw you in your press conference. Let's take a look. Last I knew, Sunderland were relegation fodder. Are they still down that far? They are the second worst team in the league right now. Needs to be a must-win. This needs to be a must-win. We are barely holding on to the 6th spot. We're in that spot on frickin' goal differential right now. So, this is close. We're 1 point away, though, from being back into 4th. Unfortunately, we are 8 points back of Leeds. We're 10 points back of Forest. Any chance, really, of automatic promotion from one of the top 2 spots, officially gone. We can finish with a maximum of, I don't want to do the math. We can get 18 more points. I know that technically we can beat Forest. We're not going to. That's the point. It's playoffs or bust. I don't feel like adding 65 plus 18. I'm lazy. Deal with it. Oh, God. All right. Again, let's see what kind of shape we can get the bench into for now. We got to optimize this a tad bit yet again. The time-consuming nature, but I'd like to be fairly well organized. What can I say? So we'll see what we're looking like here. Okay, so in terms of backup striker, it'll be Kelly. Roberts is still going to sit for Anderson, but we can get him in on the bench, obviously. Luna will be back in on the right. Eklund will sit for this game. He'll be back next game, though. Let's get Berezovsky, and Yalman will be off for Cordoba. And we're good. This is, again, basically the best team we can field at the moment to have everybody in their proper position. Again, I don't like having Roberts on the right-hand side. He's better being on the left-hand side. Anderson's better than him, though. At this point in time, we need to win this game. They just beat Leeds, too, which is a huge opportunity for us to maybe catch them. It's on the road. They scored 2 minutes in. Morgan gets it back. I'm going to watch this whole thing here. We need this. Come on, boys. We need this big road win. Kelly gets hurt. Devastating. Halftime. 1-1. Come on. Berezovsky on for Kelly. He couldn't continue, but it's a good sign that he wasn't immediately taken out. Sunderland score in the 70th. We need a point. Get a goal. Morgan scores in the 84th. And we draw with the team in second bottom of the table right now, and that is devastating. We are still ahead of Bristol on goal differential, and Kelly's out for 8 weeks with a collarbone injury. We just lost one of our best players for the rest of the season. He's out for 2 months. We draw to one of the worst teams in the league and lose one of our best players. There is no guarantees with 5 games left that we're going to be a playoff team. No guarantee, and that is very scary. From a terrible schedule to bad luck in terms of injuries. This was worst case scenario, I would say. We started off this episode in second, and now if we make the playoffs, it's looking like it's going to be by the skin of our teeth. Oh, God. All right, let's see. Is there anybody else? Vialaba's close. Is there anybody in the youth academy? I'm just going to focus on Archie Bailey here. I'm just going to focus on Archie Bailey for the sake of time. It's not going to be devastating to try to train him up. That's fine. So, nobody progresses. Individual attributes went up, but overalls did not. It's all good. Who is our next game against? It's going to be a big game on the weekend, I'm sure. It's Reading, who I don't believe, no, they're not in a playoff spot right now. I just don't know where they are for sure. We get a loan offer for Rory Ross from a club in Switzerland, I do believe. Oh, man. This is stressful. Down to the wire. Wouldn't have it any other way. It happens in every goddamn sports game I play. We got another loan offer for Rory Ross in demand, which is nice because he's not going to be first team caliber for us anytime soon. Reading are currently just outside of the relegation zone. Another winnable game. We have to win. With a win, we could potentially move ahead of Middlesbrough if they drop points. 12 points back, though, of Forest. Again, it is a guarantee that it's playoffs or bust. Right now, Bristol, the biggest danger to that. We'll set up the first team. Again, Kelly is gone for the rest of the season, which means it'll be Berezovsky who really gets called upon. Not to mention Clark will be on the bench over Sip. We'll have Montandon on the bench. Cordoba, Roberts, Clark, we're good. In terms of the defense, we'll have Johannesson and I think Galliano over Weber. And we're fine. So that is the team yet again. Let's do this. Although, you know what? No, I can't. I can't. Roberts is coming in. Roberts is coming in. We're going to put him at cam. Not normally a cam. We're going to put him in at cam and see what he can do. High rated. Those work rates are brutal. But we'll see what he can do. And we'll have Sanchez. Actually, no, we're going to have Eklund. So have Eklund in for Luna. Sanchez, I'm sorry, you're going to sit for Luna. And let's go Sanchez over Berezovsky. I'm good with that. Again, I can't worry about anything else other than ratings right now. In terms of trying to get, people playtime, it doesn't matter. We need the best squad. We are battling for our lives right now. It's not the worst thing in the world to spend another season in the championship, but 3 promotions in 3 years is ridiculous. And we're so close to having an opportunity at doing that. Granted, not automatic promotions. Meyer scores in the 22nd. I'm going to sim the rest, and it's a 4-1 win. Let's go. 2 goals for Meyer, a goal for Luna off the bench. Eklund scores in his return. And it's a big win for us. Did we jump Swansea? We did not, but we are tied in points with Swansea with 4 games to go. Again, it just has to be down to the wire, doesn't it? It has to be down to the wire. Always. Always, always, always. All right. Next up is West Brom, who are surprisingly underperforming this season. We're not on track. I don't care. We're fine. I got the 82 rating. There's no way the rating is going to plummet that far, especially after upsetting fucking Arsenal in the FA Cup. Those final loan offers are in, and go figure again. We play Leeds. I really want to beat Leeds too, but we can't prioritize. We can't prioritize the FA Cup at this point. We could when it was looking like automatic promotion was still on the line. We can't now. Unfortunately, our second team that had done so strong. That's the thing. Early on in the season, it was fine for our first team to play in the Carabao Cup in those early FA Cup stages because the second team was winning league games and picking up points. In this episode, they haven't been, and that's why we're in the situation that we're in right now. But for now, let's set up the final scouting reports of the season. Our last trip to Bolivia, and we have 2 more good players. First up, Placido Barrios, 70-94, and the final one is Abilo Fuentes, who will also sign. So Bolivia was fairly kind to us. Next up, we have, and we can just look from here, it's fine, 85, 84. We have Geronimo Romero, not that we need another keeper, but I'll sign him for the moment. We have Bruno Paz, who will also sign. Correa's a 48. For that reason, he's going to be dropped. It's just too low for me to try to develop unless you have just a stupidly high potential. And our final report from Venezuela, we have Rodolfo Navarrete. He's not going to be good enough compared to the other keepers that we have. Is there anybody else? I hope not. Lucero is the final option here. Let me see if there's anybody else that we want to get rid of. Huang really fell off, so that's kind of promising. And for the moment, we'll just go ahead and sign Lucero. He probably won't stay long term, but still, just to get that over with. Let's get the final few reports done. Again, we finished up with South America in the last bits of scouting there, thankfully. I do believe. Yeah, we did. So let's go all the way to the east. So Australia and New Zealand are done. China, Japan, and Korea are done. We have scouted Saudi Arabia as well. Let's go to Africa. I believe South Africa has been done. Yeah, we have South Korea and South Africa. Who else do we have done? Cameroon, I'm pretty sure we have scouted or not. Did we not scout Cameroon? I could have sworn that we did. And perhaps, nope, we did. Okay, they are on the list. Wow, that's super weird. They didn't show up for a second. I think that's what happened with Bolivia. I hit enter, and it didn't register. So I honestly didn't know. Nigeria is next. Let's go there. Andrew Kennedy. Let's continue to say, it's like this stuff right here I don't care about. I just want to know how we're going to do. We have scouted out Ghana. We have scouted out the Ivory Coast, which I do believe. Indeed we have. We have scouted out Morocco, I do believe. I think. Yes, we have. Algeria, I know we've scouted. And Egypt, I know that we've scouted. So we're done in Africa as well. Let's start here. Let's start over here. Romania. Have we scouted out Romania? We have not. So Romania is next as we continue to try and scout out every nation at least once before repeating. And I think Serbia has not been scouted. It has not been, so there we go. The rest of Europe region will be taken care of here next. So again, it is Nigeria, Romania, and Serbia. The list of nations that we have scouted are in the description. But like I said, we're just kind of going with the world tour setup right now until we eventually conclude that, and then we'll go back to repeat nations. West Brom. West Brom. We get a loan offer for Barry Donaghy. Bruges in Belgium are interested. Is the first team good to play here against... they're not. The second team's going to play. Just for the fact that the first team... it's a tough call. First team would be full stamina, full fitness against Leeds, but not against West Brom. I'm going to trust the second team. I'm going to trust the second team to try and get us a win here at a very, very desperate time. It is a risk and a half, but we will see what we can do. So we want Galliano at left back over Weber. Weber will be on the bench probably with Villalba. Center backs, we're going to have Johannesson and Richardson. They're already there. Right back is going to be Cox over Kovac. And actually, Kovac will be on the bench instead of Villalba. So again, the top four and overall there are starters. Is there anybody else here who is not a starter? Arne. Let's see, Montandon is on. Eklund can be out for Sanchez. Berezovsky in for Ross. Let's have Luna in on the right. He's good enough fitness-wise. Clark in for Eklund. And we'll play for Sip. So that is the team that we are praying can get us a victory here against West Brom. We're losing, or we're behind Swansea based off of goal differential. Only 2 points clear of Derby and 3 of Bristol. A loss here could technically push us out of the playoff format. This is where the second team really needs to prove themselves. The talent is there to get the win. They do have Solomon Rondon, Jay Rodriguez. It's not an easy team to beat. Let's sim it. 2-1. Sanchez scores in the 88th, but it was not enough to come back. Are we out of the playoff structure? We're actually not going to know unless I check the table because we have the matchup against Leeds coming. And you know what? It's at the point. I mean, this is the FA Cup semi-final. That win against Arsenal was huge. We'll take a look here at the FA Cup standings. So, there you go. Leeds beat Burnley 5-4 on pens. Liverpool beat Newcastle. We somehow beat Arsenal, and Southampton upset Man City. So, we have a great draw. We're playing Leeds. Otherwise, you have 2 Premier League clubs, Southampton and Liverpool. Liverpool, without a doubt, the favorites to win this at this point. We have a tremendous opportunity here to get to the FA Cup final if we can just beat Leeds. So maybe it's for the best that we still somewhat prioritized this tournament. Maybe. I'm not going to say that for sure. Let's get Weber and Kovac there on the bench, and we should be fine. The first team is good to go. If we can beat Leeds, we find ourselves in the FA Cup final, which could prove to be the main goal of the season. We might miss out on promotion, but if we can beat Leeds, we go to the FA Cup final, and maybe that'll be our big victory for the season, to get back-to-back promotions, not get promoted in our first season in the championship, but make it to the FA Cup final and potentially win Moritz Meyer in the 21st minutes. Come on, hold the lead till halftime in the 45th. We have the lead. Cordoba's on for Roberts. A defensive change. I don't mind it. O'Leary, the defender, scores. Itaguchi gets it right back, though. 10 minutes left. Are we going to the FA Cup final? And unless there's a replay, which I don't believe it's multi-legged. I believe it's one and done. I'm pretty sure we just punched our ticket to the FA Cup final. I can't think clearly right now because I'm so nervous about the league. We are 1 point clear of Derby. Oh my God. I believe, though, we are going to the FA Cup final to take on either Liverpool or Southampton. And that could, again, be the biggest game of the season for us. Whoo, boy. Come on. Come on. We have 3 games left. We play QPR next. We get a loan offer for Benzai. Donaghy has been loaned out, which is great. Benzai returns from injury, which isn't a factor. We just made $2 million for winning that game, which is phenomenal. Again, money-wise, it's not a factor, but we're looking good. I mean, we have the biggest wage budget you could have imagined. We can afford to keep anybody that we need to now. Medved, you're welcome. Benzai's loan move was rejected. NYCFC want Rory Ross. That'd be a pretty good fit for them. Toby, you're welcome. My God. QPR, what's the schedule look like, though? QPR, no midweek matchup. It's Liverpool and the FA Cup final. Whoo, boy, don't make me play that game because I might tank it on purpose. It's QPR, Bristol, and Ipswich. Our final 3 games of the year, and then we play Liverpool in the FA Cup. That is the final 3 games of the season, unless we make the playoffs. Bristol is right there. Aside from that, though, Ipswich are barely above the drop zone. QPR, currently the worst team in the league. We can do this. 2 out of 3, and we should be fine. Unfortunately, Altonen can't play in this game. Cordoba will be in for him. And let's just make sure that the bench is ready to go. Let's get Berezovsky on the bench over Clark. And actually, we want Sanchez in. And then defensively, let's go with Johannesson and Galliano. And we should be okay. The first team's in and ready to go. We need to win. Huge game against the worst team in the league. It's a home game. This should be a thrashing of QPR. This needs to be a win. This needs to be a win. Come on. Come on, we need all 3 points so badly. They take the lead in the 20th minute. Meyer gets the goal back 5 minutes later. Come on. Come on. We need this so desperately. 55th minute. Roberts scores. Up 2-1. Come on. Come on. 15 minutes. 5 minutes left, and we get the win. Roberts is the hero in the 56th. Shortly before being substituted. Whew, that pushes us 1 point clear of Derby still. Oh my God. This is right down to the wire. This shouldn't be so stressful. It's been a very successful season. We are battling for promotion in our first season. Again, champions now having a chance to go up again. We're in the FA Cup final against Liverpool without playing a game, mind you. Not a single game, and this team was good enough through the sim to get there. This is ridiculous. Nice work. Yeah, it's about time. It's about time you congratulated me on some form of success. Oh my God, Sanchez, I'm going to fire you out of a cannon into the sun. Quit complaining. Quit complaining. I don't want to manage the Indian national team. Thank you. It's a great offer. Maybe in a different series. Bristol. And then we play Ipswich 2 days later. Fuck. We got a loan offer for McCutcheon. We'll see what the setup is here, but we have to play the first team against Bristol. They're the harder opponent to beat. We have a game at hand. We're 1 point clear of Derby. Oh my God. Oh God, yeah. Ipswich is in 18th. Bristol currently 5 points back. This is Bristol's last game of the season. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're just hoping to play spoiler. It's a home game here, right? It's an away game. First team has to play an away game. They have to. So Cox is going to be in on defense. And aside from that, I think we're good outside of getting Altonen back into the lineup. That's the team. I'm going to keep Eklund in there. Here we go. Pressure's on to win our penultimate game of the season. Playoff spot potentially on the line. An FA Cup final against Liverpool looming overhead. Bristol's in terrible form and couldn't keep up a playoff pace. Can the first team get the biggest win of the season? The biggest win in club history, although you could argue that was with Leeds as Roberts scores 23 minutes in. God, just to beat Leeds into the fucking final. They tie it. Come on, second half, come on. Meyer in the 65th, come on. 10 minutes, come on. Oh my God, Mikulski. Bristol steal away 2 points in the 87th minute. And they may have just sealed our fate as a non-playoff team. By some miracle, we are still in. Derby lost. A win guarantees us. A win guarantees us a matchup against Swansea. If we lose, but stay in the playoffs, we'll play Leeds or Forest. Stoke walked the league easily. So multiple scenarios. We either stay in and play Leeds or Forest. We either stay in and play Swansea in the battle of 4 and 5. Or we miss out and Derby jumps us. If we lose, Derby County is the only team that can possibly jump us. Oh, God. Oh, God. There's not much to say outside of I hope to God we win this game. As that loan move was rejected, there's not much to say outside of I hope to God we win this game. And I hope to God you guys love cliffhangers, because we're done here. We will sim this final game in the next episode. I need to know from you, if we make the playoffs, are we simming or do I play? Question, am I simming? Am I watching the computers play the game? Or am I playing? That goes for the playoffs and the FA Cup against Liverpool. There should be polls attached to the video. I know you love cliffhangers. It pains me inside to do it, but I need to know. It all comes down to the last day of the season against Ipswich. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have a good one, and goodbye.